Flight crew OTC, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow.
Firing chain is armed.
15.
Go for main engine start. T-minus that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. The final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
Right to roll, Atlantis. Houston now controlling the flight of Atlantis. The space shuttle spreads its wings one final time for the start of a sentimental journey into history. 24 seconds into the flight, roll program complete. Atlantis now heads down, wings level on the proper alignment for its 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the International Space Station.
Atlantis, negative return.
New York tactics are not how we play. Both hands held strong until they pay. We don't set dates for crazy invitations. The moment will be right. This is not of our creation. This is not of our creation. Apes together strong. This is where we belong. Apes together strong. This now is our song. The money they think will make us all broke. Can we still see the moon through all their smoke? Time is our friend, we must be patient. Throw the naked the call, we get the payment. Governing bodies for arbitration. Truly pathetic, time for correction. Crimes and penalties already in place. Our government wasn't needed, what a big disgrace. Lying in the depths of the chairs on low. Baby, we love you, now let's watch this thing grow. We never intended to start this whole fight, but we are not leaving until it's made right. If they for a single party, not to fight into war. Just wait till they hear the right flow of things roar. Apes together strong. This is where we belong. Apes together strong. Our ears hearing the call of a cry, so simple yet brilliant, continue to buy. AMC makes movies better, we have been told. Once you've experienced it, you'll know why we hold. Apes together strong, this is where we belong. Apes together strong, this now is our song. Lady, we love you, now let's watch this thing grow. Let's watch it grow. Apes together strong, lady, we love you, this is ready to blow.
All aboard. Hey guys, how's it going? Get the caboose opened up here. Anybody wants to join? Tyler, Rugged, I know you guys have access if you want to join. Let's see, get this fixed. First in chat was Rugged with Tyler in a close second. Rugged, do it yourself DIY. There we go. There he is. Mr. Quick Draw McGraw. Oh, there it is. I had my mic off. Sorry. You were quick on the draw, Rugged.
Sure. I was the first mod to show up, but the first non-mod was definitely Tyler. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Tyler was
Yeah.
Tyler was quick on your heels though, or Stone as he
Mm,
likes to be called.
yeah. Very, very, very rapid. Very rapid.
Happy Labor Day
So
to everyone. 2024.
right on. Happy. Happy. Happy.
So I'd see what's going on out there in the world. I mowed today for the first time in forever. It's been so dry around
Mm,
here, but I did mow a little bit today, and that's about all I got done. We went out to lunch.
okay. Cool.
Pretty quiet around here.
Hmm.
You have any movement on your real estate transaction?
Well, uh, be very honest. I feel like my wife has some reservations about it.
Yeah.
She thinks that she talked with a patient of hers that has that I guess my wife's patient and her husband does a lot with real estate, and so she definitely respects their opinion, but seems to s- identify that there's some potential things that may not be, you know, some things that may be wrong. But I I tend to think, like, if you get it for the right price, then it really doesn't matter what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm still confident that there's an opportunity there. It just depends who you're bidding against there.
Yeah. Well, definitely something on that scale. You kind of hope to all be on the same page. So hopefully
You
something
do, yeah,
around.
yeah,
Is there a deadline for when this auction happens? Is it a known date?
yeah. It's basically like September 16th or 17th.
It's got a couple weeks here to figure it all out.
True, but I do need to get registered. So yeah,
Yeah, I've never been through an auction or anything like that, so I have no experience. I know Pirate's been giving you some pointers, but
yes. All right. Hold on just 1 second. I got someone at the door.
I, Hodor, I don't know. You're right. AMC and GME's been halted all day. It's strangest thing. Maybe it has something to do with the holiday. If I had to guess, that would be my first thought. I guess does Bitcoin trade no rain or shine, no matter what, I guess. According to my screen, it's up $1.77 Bitcoin. I just noticed your JK, by the way, right below that. I knew you knew. I was just messing with you too. Yeah, I think you're right on the Bitcoin. Makes it interesting. Never owned any Bitcoin personally. Got a nephew that owned early on. He had maybe 5 or something way back when it was super cheap, but unfortunately he did not hang on to it and make any real money. I think he made some, but not very small, relatively speaking. Hey, Pirate.
What's up, bitches?
Oh, not much. Just seeing what's going on out there in the world. For Labor Day, I've been pretty lazy, although I did mow, so I did a little bit of labor. Been very dry around here, so mowing's been few and far between.
Thought Labor Day was supposed to be a day of rest.
Oh,
You're out looking for work.
oh, I misunderstood the
You got it
time.
backwards.
I actually did a little Wikipedia search since I'm going to be streaming on Labor Day. It's like, what? I wonder when
You
it
were locked up for
all started and all that, and read about
Hey
the.
Pirate. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I'll just say hi.
Hey.
There's quite a bit to read about the history of it. And one thing that jumped out at me, I thought was kind of funny. One state, they tried to make it a law that schools couldn't start until after Labor Day because the amusement parks in their state, the lobby or whatever, had lobbied the politicians and trying to keep their attendance up. They wanted to outlaw school until after Labor Day, but that got overruled. It was only a law for a few years apparently in that state, but.
It's one of the few, I guess you call it holidays. I mean, it is, but that hasn't been like super commercialized. You think about what they've done to all the rest of them:
Yeah.
Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter. They're just giant ads, advertising for big business. I guess you could argue that Labor Day is big for, like, I guess, the grilling out crowd. I know it's real traditional for everybody to cook out. So
But that's
maybe
everybody's got to eat
that's
anyway,
their hustle. Do what?
So everybody's got to eat anyway, so I'm not upset about that. But even Hallmark hasn't figured out a way to make me feel obligated to send people Happy Labor Day cards. So you're right,
Yeah.
It has not been that commercialized.
Not to the extent the others have.
AFGCV, how you doing? Andrew, how you doing? I noticed saw that August for AMC was the best. Let's go take a look at that. The best August since like 2000 and what is it, 15 maybe? 2016 they had $1 billion for August, but we had 890 million in 2024 for August, so it was a pretty good month. Nice to see. The weekend was so far so good, nothing earth shattering, but it's at 84.7 million at the moment. Or I'm sorry, overall 94.8. So Deadpool's still the leader of the pack.
You see all the gossip about AMC on Twitter and X today?
Not today. What's going on there?
Yeah, a lot of tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist bullshit. This movie that's out now has I guess it has something to do with disappearing children or something along those lines. I forget what the title of it is, but
City of Hope.
City of Hope. They're claiming that there's some sort of nefarious shit going on with AMC. That they're telling people that the seats are full, they can't buy tickets, but people inside the theater saying 70% of the room's empty. And so there's been all sorts of conspiracy theories, and both blaming AMC being part and parcel to it. A lot of FUD, how somehow or another AMC's played a role in some of this way to cover up some sort of criminal activity by limiting people from seeing the movies, which defies logic because you're thinking, why would they put it in their theaters to begin with?
Exactly.
It's some of the stupidest shit you've ever heard, but you're thinking, who comes up with this and what do they have to gain from it? And I'm like, I know who's doing it. It's
Yeah.
more fucking market. It's more market manipulation, but it's fucking crazy.
You know,
Now there may be something to it. The fact that some of these theaters, you can buy tickets online and not go. But I think far likelier what it is it's just not true. I just don't think maybe the movie's I don't think it's such a big blockbuster hit, so people aren't going. But yeah, they're trying to make some kind of a stink out of it.
So let's see. Well, it's interesting you say that because I think Sound of Freedom, which came out I think last year, it's the same subject matter, and I actually
Yeah, I remember.
I
Yep,
went to the
I
theater and
remember.
saw that. I think that same crap was going on for that one. They were trying to make it the exact same kind of argument, like that Adam Aaron is a child, sex trafficking
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
order and all this stuff.
It doesn't make any sense because they wouldn't even put it in their theaters.
Yeah.
I beg the bigger question is if it's true that they're showing the seats as sold, meaning they can't sell the seat twice. If somebody already paid for the ticket, that's actually good for AMC, even if nobody's going. But that begs the question: who's buying those tickets? Who's paying for all those tickets so people can't see the show? See, again, it's more conspiracy shit that doesn't pass the sniff test with me because if somebody wanted to do that, you wouldn't keep buying out the shows that would cause AMC to add more shows. You see what I'm saying? It's self-defeating. So something smells about this whole fucking story. I can't quite figure it out yet. I don't know if it's somebody's attempt to do some sort of guerrilla advertising or make something go viral just so they're talking about it. But
yeah, Andrew Morgan's reminding me. Yeah, they were saying they were turning purpose on the one last year, Sound of Freedom. They said AMC's turning the air conditioners, making it hot in the theater to make people uncomfortable.
I remember all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
City of Dreams. I said City of Hopes. Here it's on the screen. It's City of Dreams. It's made 1.449 million this weekend. So yeah, it's craziness. It's one of those kind of subjects, it's not going to probably be a huge draw, and because it's a hard subject, and Sound of Freedom, it was tough to watch because of the subject matter, but I think it's super important information to get out, and my brother actually helped. He actually wrote a script and worked with a movie production company that filmed a movie here in our area that was supposed to come out this fall, and it's following it. It actually took two girls' life story that were trafficked, and it combined it into one person. They took some liberties to make it into one person for the actual movie itself, but it was filmed here locally, and he played a big part in it. But I just talked to him the other day, and he said it's probably going to be next spring for the earliest that it gets released. And whenever that does happen, I'll share more at that time. But hopefully to get a nationwide release. Hey, Billy and Steven, welcome. Nothing major going on. I just thought I'd kick off the stream since it's a holiday in case he's not streaming, and I had some time and just see what's going on out there. I did see something, and I'm not sure what to make of it, that they were saying there were glitches on GME's price Friday. What some different sites are saying it closed at different prices, and there's some scuttlebutt about some manipulation going on there. I didn't quite follow what all was going on. I don't know if you have any insights to that, Pirate or Rugged, but
All I know it's from the New York Stock Exchange. So they're saying something from NYSE.
they are acknowledging there was some issues or not.
I'm not sure. I mean, because I didn't see. I would have to see directly from I'd have to go to the exchange site and see if there's anything there because otherwise these are all kind of like X posts, So it'd be nice to get something firsthand from NYSC.
Yeah. Did you watch that entire subversion video that you posted on my general?
I watched at least half of it. I got some more to go, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I got the gist of it. Maybe not quite half, but before I'd cut it off. But yeah,
I mean, that's basically what we're dealing with here.
yeah,
Not even as a stock, but also as society in some ways too.
yeah, definitely.
Uh,
I think it's been mentioned on this stream more than once, and Pirate and others, about that our outside force enemies would rather take us without firing a shot, and that they're, I think, doing a pretty good job of creating enough turmoil internally to possibly do that. Get us all divided amongst ourselves and fighting within ourselves. And
yeah, they say it takes what something like 15 to 20 years
yeah,
to.
he's saying one generation, basically 15 to 20 years to really start making headway.
Yeah.
Billy says somebody could reserve a ticket with the A-list membership and not go, I suppose. I guess he's talking about if there were issues with people not being able to get tickets to that City of Dreams movie. Did you happen to see Sound of Hope, Rugged, the movie?
Nope, I did not.
You see something like that, and then it follows the life of a young boy that gets trafficked, and actually him and his sister both, but unbelievable what goes on. And then you see our government saying, yeah, we lost track of 300,000 children. And I think it was Tony Robbins who is kind of helping sponsor this latest movie that's out right now, City of Dreams. I saw him on Fox News the other day. He was promoting it, and he's saying, it's kind of hard to get our heads wrapped around when they say 300,000 children just got lost in the system. We don't know really how to mentally deal with that, but when you break it down to one individual, you make a movie of one individual, to see it kind of hits home and more impactful as far as.
Well, I generally respect a lot of things of Tony Robbins for sure. So
Yeah. He's, I guess, said he's been involved in helping in this area for about 8 years. Him and his wife have been working with different agencies and stuff. And he was claiming that their groups that he's been working with have rescued 50,000 kids so far in that 8 years. And he literally boiled it down, saying they got it down, kind of calculated, it's about $500 to rescue a child is what it ends up kind of costing. So he was saying if people wanted to donate or whatever, but Andrew's saying that Tony has really stepped it up on the societal issues as he's gotten older.
only 500. Hey,
Yep.
hey, Brett.
What up?
How you doing?
Good. How's everybody? Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor
going
Day,
on,
Rex and Yucca.
Where's Pirate at?
Well, he was here, but then he said he had to switch to chat. He put it in the chat that he switched to chat. So I guess he has something going on. He couldn't have the mic on at the moment.
Big Mike.
So be careful what you say about him. He's probably listening. Yucca.
All right. What are we? What is this? Are we trading? Are we?
This is the Labor Day special, the Pop Mac
All
Labor
right.
Day special. Since Bitcoin trades 24/7, I thought, why should we stop? Just Just because most of the market's down doesn't mean we should stop this train.
That's right. Isn't it down like negative freaking, what is it? I don't even know. I saw it dumping.
Bitcoin or what?
Was it dumping? Oh, it recovered.
It was only down $1 when I looked at it a minute ago. Over the last 24 hours, I guess it's tracking at.
Yeah. So it's going back up.
So
Yeah.
it's up 261 at the moment.
Look at that.
Look at that. What are you talking about?
Don't be rude.
Yeah, don't be rude. I've never owned Bitcoin, to be honest, so never really followed it that closely, but
Yep.
all kinds of sound effects today. I'm hearing them today. A lot of times, for some reason, on my Discord, I don't hear them, but I'm hearing them right now. Hey, MC, welcome aboard. Just hanging out on Labor Day. Nothing big going on. Just thought I'd see what's going on. I cut a new version of Apes Together Strong song, so I wanted to play that. And I got a new birthday song for the September birthdays. Happy September, everybody. The odds of any one of you 15 being born in September are probably not huge, but do we have any September birthday folks by chance?
My daughter.
Your daughter, there, that works.
One of my daughters.
Two daughters, there we go.
My brother.
My brother.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Yeah.
My cousin, who does own some AMC shares.
Well, call them up or get them around the computer so they can hear the birthday song here in a bit. I'll give you
And
2 minutes.
then
Dee's birthday.
who else was born? Let me see. I know there's more people.
My family, September's pretty quiet birthday month. August is busy. My wife and my daughter-in-law. But September, I'm not sure. Can't think of any family birthdays in September. But yeah, I got a birthday slide and everything. Look at all these genres that your favorite thing AI has to offer you, Yuka. Have you ever heard of Dark Trap or Glitch
Nope.
or Hauntology?
Never heard of
Look at all
it. It's just another way of confusing people.
I've heard of trap.
Have you?
Of course, a dark trap is probably like a slightly dark cinematic style.
Hey, we got Billy's dad's birthday today. That's cool. All right, Billy, you can see the screen. Pick a genre, and that's the version of the birthday song that I'll play today for the September birthdays. Read through the list and then decide which one. And let me get ready, open that window. Since Billy's dad's birthday, we'll let him pick the genre of the song. Thought about doing the Wheel of Fortune, but that'd be too many things to type up.
You know, I'm gonna upload a picture I took last night at Walmart. I saw a picture of like a display of DVDs, like AMC DVDs or something. I've never heard of this, so let me grab it and put it in the
While you're
back to
doing that,
the
I'm going to play the birthday song. I'm glad Billy picked Dark Trap. I was hoping he'd pick that one. It was an interesting
that's
one.
good choice.
You're
Yep.
only going to hear it on the YouTube stream. You won't hear it in Discord. So FYI.
I'll mute.
All right,
I'll mute myself.
I'm going to play the Dark Trap birthday version genre of the birthday song in about 5 seconds. So 4, 3, 2.
Happy birthday from Papa Mac's live stream. We hope it's like a dream. Happy birthday, keep it tight. Happy birthday as we continue the fight. Apes together strong, another year to you has gone. We hope you enjoyed your last trip around the sun. Here's wishing you another filled with love and fun. Happy birthday, you filthy ape. Not a good one, but great. Don't forget to eat the candles, not the cake. Happy birthday from Papa Mac's live stream. We hope it's like a dream. Happy birthday, keep it tight. Happy birthday as we continue the fight. We hope it's like a dream. Happy birthday, keep it tight. Happy birthday, keep it slight. Happy birthday as we continue the fight. Apes together strong, another year to you has gone. We hope you enjoyed your last trip around the sun. Here's wishing you another filled with love and fun. Happy birthday, you filthy ape. Not a good one, but great. Don't forget to eat the candles, not the cake. We hope it's like a dream. Happy birthday, keep it tight. Happy birthday, keep it tight. Happy birthday as we continue the fight. Apes together strong, another year to you is gone. We hope you enjoyed your last trip around the sun. Here's wishing you another filled with love and fun. Happy birthday, you filthy ape. Not a good one, but great. Don't forget to eat the candles, not the cape.
And happy birthday to all you September-born apes. Billy's dad, Rugged's daughter. I've already forgotten. Was it Steven's daughter? Who else's daughter? I've already forgotten.
Welcome back. How's this microphone working now?
Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have to get out a backup or something, or?
No, I just I shut my stuff down on the weekends, let it cool down. Runs 24 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And my son said it's not good to let him even run overnight, but I'm a little lazy, so I take liberties with that. But no, took me a little bit of time I use Discord on my desktop, and then I use the chat on my iPad so I can have them simultaneously.
Gotcha.
It takes a while to get my old piece of junk warmed up and running.
FGCV, happy birthday to your son, Aldo. 2 more days to his birthday. Yuka, you printing any 3D models this weekend?
No,
None?
none. Cleaning up.
You're taking this holiday serious, taking it off, huh?
No, I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning the shop.
Oh. A little fall cleaning, I guess, or late summer cleaning.
Kind of. Yeah, maintenance, emptying out the inks.
How often do you do that?
The machine tells me, hey,
Oh,
you need to empty out the. There's a bottle that collects all the ink.
Polishing.
Yeah. Polish. No, emptying out the ink.
Oh, okay.
Like I guess when it does its own self cleaning, it dumps it in in a little bottle. I gotta empty it out.
you're
That's
talking about your 3D printer, not the ink printer, or both?
Printers. The ink printers.
Oh, do you have to do any kind of maintenance to the 3D?
Not necessarily. Just keep it clean, the bed,
Keep it tight.
maybe yeah, maybe a little oil here and there, but not really.
Yep.
Funky Pizza Production, what's up? Just noticed you joined.
What's up?
I don't know about you all, but we have gorgeous weather here in Southeast Missouri today. Cold front came in overnight. Humidity's way down in the 70s, air temperature. It's amazing.
That's cute.
Made it nice when I was out there on the old electric lawnmower.
How long does that run for? Electric.
I can get it has the potential. You can have up to 6 batteries in it. It comes with 4, and that's all I have in it. And it runs about an hour mow time, I would say, on those 4 batteries.
Wow. Cool.
I can get
I'm gonna have some. Go ahead.
I can get about half, a little over half my yard. If it all needs, I can get about half or a little over half on one charge. Then it takes about 2 to 3 hours to charge it back up.
You can get those programmable ones too that kind of just run on their own. Those are kind of fancy.
Yeah, I've seen those, the little robots, and kind of like a vacuum for your house, but a lawnmower for your yard. And
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a yard that would probably work out okay. I don't have a lot of problem areas, I guess. There's a couple maybe, but I enjoy mowing, getting out there when it's nice weather, especially.
Have any of you guys done anything much with metal detecting?
Oh yeah, we've talked that a little bit on the stream before. My brother has a high-end Eagle brand, I think it is, and that was more years ago that he was really into it. I found a couple silver, 1964 or older orders with it, and he's found Civil War bullets. He's found jewelry, and Pirates talked about it some too.
Cool. I got a couple here from my father's house that I think they're not exactly high end, but they're something.
Well, hopefully they're better. I told my first one when I was probably 12. I got one, and it was a Radio Shack brand, and I lived near the ocean, so I went to the beach with it thinking, man, I'm going to strike it rich. And the waves were so loud, and the speaker was so poor on this thing, I couldn't hear it. And I even had my brother, I turned my back, said, here, bury some coins right here. And so he buried them. I turned around. We lost the coins he buried right behind me. I couldn't find them. Never did find them. And
wow.
So it was a big strikeout. But my brother's good one, you can get with headphones and all that stuff. And it would tell you how deep things were, what kind of metal it thought it was, if it's a ring or a coin or.
That's cool.
Yeah. Finding a good location for those things is the key. 'Cause so many areas, there's just so much trash and junk and bottle caps, and you get so many false reads. But like I said, his could tell you, it would say pull tab or whatever, and it was almost always right. But we would be, we'd check everything we'd find. We'd go ahead and dig it up and just to see, because every once in a while I think an old nickel or something would match the pull tab reading, but it was almost always a pull tab when it said it was a pull tab.
Okay.
We also, and I told the story, we went in the field, a friend of ours, they were going to develop a little area right outside of town and hadn't really been disturbed in years. And they had just went ahead and mowed it as the step one of their development process. And they said, hey, if you want to go out there and check it before we, start the real construction of this subdivision, you're welcome to go out there. So we went out there and we weren't there 20 minutes, found a bunch of pull tabs. And he said, this is trash. Forget it. We just, only there 20 minutes. Well, the next 2 weeks were a living hell because we got into chiggers, and I had well over 200 chigger bites from my waist down, and it was so miserable.
What?
And like I said, it was a field that hadn't been disturbed in a long time, and we got into a nest of I don't know how those things are, but I guess a nest of them.
Oh.
It was terrible. I don't know if you ever had chiggers, but I mean,
I have not.
I wanted to cut my legs off. They just
Really? I don't know what these things are.
on me. I don't know if I'm allergic or if most people, but it's like a big whelp and a bubble in the middle where the creature is. And if you look at the science behind it, it's pretty gross. They emit a saliva that's like an acid that turns your skin to liquid, and then they stick their straw in there to get down, I guess, below to suck out your blood or whatever they do. And they're a nasty.
That sounds like a gold digger.
Yeah, they're a nasty little creature.
Yeah.
Sounds like they were trying to penetrate you.
Wow.
They did 200 plus of them, unfortunately.
Oh.
Don't make me get out the banner, Yucca. It works on holidays. The banner works on holidays.
It's not
In Alabama, they have them. They're like a red mite, very small, tiny little insect. And I got into them a time or two hunting. One time specifically, I sat down on the ground, leaned up against a tree. The ones in Alabama would only get like exposed skin, so they get you like if I sat down and my shirt rode up my back. I remember getting bit on my lower back a few times. Yeah.
These guys here, they'll crawl up your body and they try to get to the warm spots, which I won't go into.
Your butt? They try to crawl up your butt?
Well, close to that area, but another area on the other side of that, and talk about itch.
Yeah, they're tiny little boogers. Yeah, they're not real common though. I know a lot of guys only encountered them, once or twice, all their years out in the woods. You were just unlucky.
Well, I've had them in Missouri, and I've had them in Tennessee. Have been attacked, and the one that I was just telling about was the worst outbreak I had. Normally, it's just 2 or 3 on you, kind of like mosquito bites or whatever. But that time, over 200, it was terrible. Getting a text from my daughter. They went to Grant's Farm up in St. Louis today, being such a nice day weather-wise. Looks like they had a good time. Hey, Donkey Kong, how's it going? All right, I don't know what I had clicked on or whatever, but on my Facebook ads, I got this guy popping up now every other ad, because I guess I watched it once, one of his videos, and now that's all I see. But it's about high altitude electromagnetic pulse, so HEMP, which I've heard EMPs, been kicked around that acronym, but now HEMP is the latest on that front, and he's going on about this military. The government put together a report about it, and he got his hands on it. And anyway, of course, he gives this big long video talking about all this stuff. But at the end of it, of course, he's wanting to sell a book on how to survive and a survivor's guide
Sure is.
to electromagnetic pulse. But made me think of our discussion we had a few weeks back. What they're saying.
No, today everything I read, every other post was followed with a Paris Hilton advertisement for her damn video, or I don't know what it is, but I'm like, man, if I have to listen, she must have spent a fortune, because I don't care what I select, what I click on, whatever the flavor is of the moment. Whenever I get finished watching the little clip or the video, what have you, it immediately shows that advertisement for Paris Hilton down my throat. I'm like, phew, man.
I haven't even seen anything about her, so I don't even know what she did lately. So interesting. You say you think it's an album or something she came out with?
That's what it would appear to be. Like I said, I don't stay on it long enough.
Yeah.
But I think I just in a few moments I saw that it took me to change the screen or something about she got a new, I guess either a new single out or she, I don't even know. To my knowledge, I don't even know that she's ever had.
I've been seeing Britney Spears stuff popping up. Is it Britney?
To my knowledge, I'm not sure that Paris Hilton's ever had any music out. This may be her first one. I don't keep up with Paris Hilton, but no, I know the difference between Britney Spears and Paris Hilton.
Okay.
One is bald. The other one is not bald, right?
Did you say bald?
Yeah, Britney's bald. Is she still bald?
Oh,
she was never bald. She shaved her head. For a brief moment, she was shaved bald, but she's not naturally. She didn't naturally lose her hair.
Well, anyway, back to the HEMP. He's saying that the biggest threat is Russia with they've been working on this supersonic missile they've been talking about, and they say if they were to marry up a nuclear warhead to one of these supersonics, that they would be able to launch it and detonate it and knock our lights out, and we wouldn't even know who did it, is what the guy's claiming, that they are able to do it undetected right now. So that's why it's such a big threat, is it could be done without leaving a fingerprint. We wouldn't know if it was North Korea or Russia or who did it. And
it's just more fear mongering. Yeah. I tell you, I'm so fucking tired of being afraid of everything. They've been fucking telling us to be scared since my first memories, my earliest memories, probably 1969, 1970, right at elementary school, third grade, hiding under the desk. I mean, first of all, how the fuck is hiding under a school desk going to save you from a nuclear bomb? And it's always been the same, man. The Russians are coming. They're going to wipe out the entire fucking world. You mean, who tells kids that? Why? What do you gain other than fucking their heads all up? So I've been hearing it. I'm 50 years old. I've been hearing it since I was 8. That's 50 straight years of the sky is falling, the end is near, the fucking bomb, the atomic bomb, the nuclear bomb, the fucking super nuclear bombs, now the EMPs, all of it. It's just it's more of that fear shit. I'm just done being afraid. If they're gonna fucking blow it up, blow it up. If they're gonna fucking EMP it up. I'm all for it. I can't wait to see. I've been hearing about it for so long. I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like. Selling a book doesn't surprise me. That's what they're all about. It's usually somebody's got a con. Everybody's got their con. They had the snake oil salesman used to ride around in a covered wagon selling elixirs and youth potions and miracle cures, and same shit's going on today. You got people hawking their wares. Everybody's got their hustle on.
I'm not sure what good a book's going to do me if there's no water, there's no electricity, there's no food. You can give me a survival guide, tell me all you want, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get me, my mom, my wife, and my 20-year-old through a year if that were to take place, because I have a book that somebody gave me.
Survival book. A
Yeah.
survival book.
Well, people don't like to talk about it, and I'm guilty of one saying too, we want smaller government. We don't want anybody control over us, but that's exactly when everybody will want the government to step in. They'll say, where are you, Uncle Sam? You know, we're the richest country in the world. And to some extent, Uncle Sam will be there. I mean, that's like, I motherfuck our government. I'm first one to piss and moan about bureaucrats, but is some good that's done. I mean, you deploy the National Guard and all the rest of that. There are some things that can help humanity out in an event like that, whether it's portable aid stations, field hospitals, or just deploying personnel to keep civil unrest down. So,
You could deploy if you have vehicles to deploy with, but if those vehicles don't work, it's going to be hard to deploy them.
yeah, you don't. Clearly, you've never had anybody in your family serve in the military where they march 20 miles with 80 pounds on their back. There's a whole group of military guys who are trained to operate without vehicles. They don't. I've assured you, an M16 fires just as well after an EMP as it does before. They don't have any computer chips in them, not a single solitary one. Squeeze the trigger, bullet go bump, boom, bullet go bang. I said it before. We get down to gloom and doom. I love gloom and doom. It's where I live. It's not particularly entertaining, but we can do gloom and doom. If you want to do gloom and doom, let's do the enemy among us. You know, let's look at what's going on in some of these places where they're, you know, the illegal immigrants and these unchecked immigration policies are allowing people, foreign actors who are really our enemies. They are publicly declared enemies to walk among us. Now you got a horse race. You want to talk about something that could get you killed or get your family fucked up or make you go hungry. Yeah. It's not going to be some magical space Star Wars shit like EMP. It's going to be the 4,000 fucking school bus loads of fighting age men. You know, that's where your threat's going to come from. We'll spend some time research that shit, find out what they're all about, see what they think of you. And by they, I mean the hostiles.
You're talking about ones that are already here that came across the border and weren't tracked, or when you said 4,000?
Well, it's a steady flow. It's a steady flow. It's like water running into a moldy house where a pipeline's broke. The water's still turned on. They're coming across the border right now. Somebody's stepping off a plane right now that's been paid for by an NGO, or they're just coming across the Rio Grande right now, this very moment. It could be 2, could be 25. So that just adds on to the number that's already here. All you got to do is just look around a little bit and see what's happening in other parts of the world. It's we're not immune to that. We're not special. You know, their activities are coming to the forefront. A lot of these places, it's not real hard to. You don't need a particular source. Just any kind of a random search will bring up all sorts of videos, and I'm quite certain there's a lot of people who say, well, that's all made up or it's not real. But I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'm smarter than that. I'm not saying that each and every video that's posted is an example of the reality of it, but I'm just saying you can get a trend. You can certainly find a trend in things. You probably tell I'm not in the best of moods today anyhow after learning that they executed those 6 hostages in Gaza. I'm a little bent. One of them was an American citizen. So I guess I'm not in the best of fucking moods today as a result of that.
Me too. That plus my coconuts. I left coconuts in the back of the trunk. I forgot to take them out. Try to drink the water from the coconut. It went bad.
Coconut water,
Freaking
when
hot.
it's not bad, is bad. In
Bad, and then
my
the
opinion.
double hit.
You like coconut water when it's fresh?
Yeah, when it's cold, I put it in the refrigerator. So I put these. I realized I left them like a day in the back of the trunk. Then I took them to the refrigerator. I put them in there. I said, "All right, they're probably still good." I just drilled holes in them, tried to dump out that water, and it's yellow. I'm like, maybe let me taste it. It wasn't good.
Been stored too long.
Yeah, it was hot. I left them in the trunk for one day.
Welcome, Nana. I see you're in the chat. Yeah, my cousin, we were on an island, tropical island, and he bought one locally and cut into it and tried to drink it and he about puked. I don't care for coconut in of itself anyway, so I'm pretty sure I wouldn't care for the coconut milk. I understand with these protesters in Israel, what are they wanting Benjamin Netanyahu to do? I mean, I know they want him to bring the hostages home. And obviously, everybody wants that, but best I can tell, he's agreed to everything that the U.S. has proposed as a way to make that happen. Yet Hamas has said no, thank you. So what is it they? There's like what 500,000 people in Israel. Was it yesterday that were protesting in the street? What do they hope that he does that he hasn't tried? Or I'm not following.
Well, for starters, I read some stuff, and I'm not entirely sure that I believe. See, here's the thing: our only source of information is really mainstream media, other than X.
Yeah.
So when I see that many people in the streets, how do I know that they're even protesting Netanyahu? Maybe they're out because they're pissed about the hostages getting fucking killed. Maybe you're just being told that they're against Netanyahu. Most people don't even know what Benjamin Netanyahu is all about. I don't know if you do. Are you familiar with his history at all?
I'm not.
Yeah, it's okay. Most people aren't. The guy was a fucking war hero. I mean, he was a modern day goddamn Clint Eastwood in real life. I'm talking about, I think he participated in the raid on Entebbe where they had fucking terrorists, had a bunch of innocent people in a fucking airplane. I hope I'm not butchering his story all up. He was a modern day fucking James Bond. This guy was. He put his ass on the line for his country, and there's nobody out there who can. I mean, his military record and what he did was nothing short of amazing. So, and the guy is a true patriot. Now, I don't follow the ideology. I don't know anything about the Jewish faith and all that sort of stuff. But they were in negotiations. My understanding was that Netanyahu had agreed to give everything that the Palestinians had demanded and then some, and maybe let me rephrase that, anything that Washington had signed off on, that Benjamin Netanyahu said, fine, I'll do that if that's what the American president wants. But while they're negotiating, the Israeli Defense Forces were getting a little bit closer to where these hostages were being held, and they got scared. They thought, well, they're gonna find these people before we get what we want out of negotiations, so let's just assassinate them. If you got a bank robber who's holding the bank up and he's got all of his hostages inside, and the bank robber kills all the hostages, that's the end of the negotiations. What's there left to negotiate for? You don't want to hurt the building. I would level that fucking place. Mm-hmm. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, I don't know why they're protesting. I would assume that a lot of them are just angry because more Israelis are dying and everybody wants that war to come to an end over there. But I made a post out yesterday, and I'll say it once again on your live stream. People need to stop starting wars if you don't want to finish them. That's the problem with America. All this ceasefire horse shit and all the old, well, let's talk about it. One guy throws a punch and kicks somebody in the crotch and slits a few throats and then says, okay, let's stop and talk for a minute. Sometimes when there's an aggressor, a bad doer in the world, you don't take a break. You don't have a ceasefire. You just wipe them out. See, we didn't have a ceasefire with fucking Germany and the Nazis, and we didn't have a ceasefire with the Japanese. It's called an unconditional surrender. You vanquish your enemies. And that's what we've lost in America. Our military is not some sort of fucking nation building aid organization. We're supposed to be going around passing out MREs and bottles of water to hungry and thirsty people. Our military is supposed to be breaking shit. Your military is designed to do one thing: kill the American enemies. And then, so you shouldn't even, it's like a gun. Don't pull it out if you're not going to use it. And the same thing goes for Israel. Israel didn't start this fight over there. Anybody with eyes in their head knows what went down over there, and they did it to themselves. And I just say, let the Israelis mop up the bad doers and be done with it, and then bring peace back to the region. But, you know, it's a perfect example. Everybody keeps saying the Israelis are the bad guys, but the Israelis didn't execute 6 prisoners. I mean, fuck, is the concept really that fucking hard? One side's executing fucking prisoners of war. Not even prisoners of war. Fuck, they're not even combatants. These are hostages, civilian hostages. I'm like, who the fuck who looks at that and says, well, there's 2 sides to that? You got to be a dumbass. So there you are. That's the kind of mood I'm in today.
Well, I have read like I think it's the parents of the American hostage that was killed. I think it was his parents that were saying to Netanyahu, finish the job. So I know, obviously, in their case, they've lost their child, so they're saying let's finish this job and do away with them. But you know, I don't know the 500,000 that are out in the streets. I don't know what that's all about. But and like I said,
yeah, I don't have any firsthand information, and I'm reticent to weigh in on it and give an opinion based off of just what CNN tells me they're out there for. I see a picture with a lot of people in the street, but just because they put a banner on it that says all these people want Netanyahu to go doesn't necessarily make it the truth.
yeah.
I mean, if you've learned nothing else in the last 3 or 4 years, if you believe anything the American media says, well, you're the dumbest guy in the fucking room.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. Yeah, you're going to find a handful of people on every side. So, that, like I said, that doesn't necessarily represent the masses.
Yep. So.
Oh yeah, I don't. Seems like
It's just crazy town, man. This weekend, every day I get up and say it can't get any fucking crazier, and then by lunchtime I'm just shaking my head and rubbing my eyes. I'm like, oh, I don't know. They attacked Trump. They fucking literally attacked Trump for attending the ceremony that he was invited to by the families of the 13 slain soldiers. And because they didn't want Trump to enjoy any respect for what he'd done, they attack him and try to paint it like he was some glory hunter that staged the whole thing specifically for no more than political benefit. And I don't disagree that there wasn't a political benefit to it, because that's the nature of the world. When you do something good, people see it, you get a political benefit from it. But that doesn't mean it was staged or somehow it was fake. And that's what drives me crazy about these people. And they're the same ones who were given an invitation to come and refused. And the whole thing comes down to, and it's real simple. Those people wouldn't have been dead if it wasn't for the route, the ridiculous route that our military displayed as a course of our fucking turn tail run shit out of fucking Kabul. So they let it happen. They got the people killed. They refused to go to the ceremony, and then lambast the previous president who does, and everybody's like, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, I don't know, Andy. Yeah, well, the only thing I can say about that is at least the families, almost, I think to a family, there's 13 of them. I can't say that they all did it, but most of them have posted online. I tried to retweet as many of them as I could. Had posted rebuttal videos specifically to Kamala Harris and her campaign, making clear each family's individual stance and then collectively what they thought of the whole thing. And I hope this becomes the seminal. I think this should be a moment that makes people change their minds. If they were on the fence about the difference between good and bad and all this, I hope that serves as an example. These people are, I mean, And then there's this whole group of fucking lunatics on X that join in with them and saying shit like fuck Gold Star families. Do you realize how demented, how shriveled up and immoral your heart has to be to say fuck a Gold Star family? I mean, it takes a special kind of evil, man. Here we are.
If a politician pulls over his motorcade to get out and pose at some whatever to get some political thing, cheap political thing out of something, that's one thing. But when you're spending hours at a ceremony and consoling and talking with and doing laying wreaths on each of the things, that's not a drive-by. I'm trying to score a point here. That in any rational.
It's not opportunistic. It's not opportunistic.
Yeah.
It's not.
And
Yeah.
so,
look, I would tell people, listen, there's no denying there's a political benefit to it, because there's a political benefit to anything in life. If you do something good and people shine a light on it, you will benefit from that. Because I know this is a hard concept for people to understand. This, we want good leaders. We want leaders who do good works. So, but I get it. If I was that group, they were kind of trapped. They couldn't go to the ceremony because it was too likely that a grieving mother would lash out at them as something along the lines of, you're responsible for my dead child. So they couldn't let that moment happen. So they can't go. Trump, not only is he invited, they begged him to come. He goes and honors them with his presence and honors the dead, gives them their moment, and helps them to the extent that he can. I mean, it's going to be it's not like some fucking Band-Aid that's going to make it all better for mom and dad because the president came. Their kid is dead. And so the other side, what are they going to do? So I guess to some extent, we should have expected it. So they come out and say the only reason Trump did it is for the photo op. And it's just not true.
Then you got the goofballs trying to say, it's breaking federal law because Arlington can't be used for a political thing, blah, blah. And then,
that's all. And that's all people.
And then they show pictures.
Our media, even X, even Twitter and X is full of that. People who love to talk about something they know nothing about.
Yeah. And then they show you pictures of Biden at the same cemetery and the same exact thing. But no, that's fine. But Trump, it's a federal crime. Hey, Food Dog, welcome to the caboose. Hadn't heard your voice in a while. What's up?
Hey, what's going on? I was just about to mention. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
I think, Papa Mac, what you said about Biden getting his photo shot, walking over the bodies of our fallen soldiers. He didn't even take 6 feet away and walk along. He just walked straight over their bodies.
To be fair, he probably didn't even know he was at a cemetery. Probably thought he was at Walmart or something.
Where's my dog? Yeah, no. He just walked right over their bodies. Happy as can be.
Yeah.
I mean, when I go to the cemetery, I might be next to a murderer or something. I never walk over their bodies. I always stay 6 feet away. Then I go to the headstone, and then I walk up a little bit to the side of where my dead loved one is laying, and it's just a common respect. But not that fucker. He just
fucking skipping
right
across. I saw that shit.
Son of a bitch. Did you guys hear what Jerry Nadler said like 2 or 3 years ago? It might have been 4 years ago, when he talked about the draft, and he was clapping back at Jim Jordan. Is it Jordan?
Well, Jim Jordan is Republican.
Yeah. He clapped back at him and he said, well, if we don't have a draft, where are we going to get young boys to go to war? And that just fucking struck me to the ground. Just struck me to the ground. Where are we going to get young boys to go to war? The fuck? You fat fucking colostomy bag wearing piece of fucking shit. You just talk.
The only thing I'd expect Nadler to say is, pass me the cheesecake.
he can't have cheesecake because it doesn't go through his colostomy bag. That fucking piece of shit. How these people in New Jersey are voting for him, I don't even think they are. What an evil man. Where are we going to get young men to fight our wars? That's something to look up. Because you won't believe it when you hear him say it. And you'll rewind it and you'll say to yourself, did he really fucking say that? Like, our young men are just assets to send out in front of machine guns? This is how they thought in World War One. We don't think that way anymore. God, we should have thought that way then. Fuckers.
The Donkey Kong says the Penguin, Nadler.
Man, at least the Penguin is a badass. That guy is something else. I don't know how he's still alive, other than probably a 9-month-old aborted babies are giving him organs.
Jerry Nadler now. Not Jim Jordan, Jerry Nadler.
Yeah, Jim Jordan. We're talking about Jerry Nadler. He is a fucking piece of shit of ethic proportions.
Adam Schiff. Should be Adam Schiff.
Did you need to put the banner up or something? No, come on. Man.
Adam, I can't stand that guy. I mean, he is, as he was called, what, pencil neck. He is a lion. He is the lioness politician I've ever run across, I think.
Yeah. He's one of the guys that really needs to be charged with a crime.
Yeah, he's
the crime being, he lied to the American public specifically about the whole Russian collusion and the whole Trump affair. He's went so far out over the line about lying, misinformation. They love to talk about misinformation, about how that because he was a part of a select committee, that he had privileged access to documents that showed that there was proof, and it was a lie. It was all a lie, and at a minimum, he should have been censured or impeached or whatever they do to these guys. But I argue what he did was criminal. That he wasn't just talking out his ass because he wasn't sure. He was lying in order to help to sway an election. But I don't know. I guess we're so far over the line now that for a congressman or senator, that if they get caught lying, that's the least of the worries, I guess.
Well, I'll just say this first. There's a lot of information about Representative Schiff and a certain hotel in California had to deal with a lot of underage people. And there's a lot of pictures of him. This is long before the Russia collusion thing. But yeah, just for the Russia collusion thing, he should hang.
California, you saying?
California, yeah. He's your representative.
But I think he's running for senator now, and he's probably going to win it.
Gypsy Kings?
Is he on your ballot, Yuka? Is he on Senator Schiff?
Nah, man, I don't even know what he said. Something in the Gypsy Kings.
He's down on. All you have to do is go down to Figueroa Street. He's there every night.
Hotel California. What does that have to do with?
No, I didn't say hotel. I said Hotel California.
That explains it.
That explains everything. Hotel means faggot, Papa Mac.
Okay.
You saw banners going up.
Faggot means the bag of sticks, right?
There goes the banner.
What? There goes the banner. We're in Canada.
Faggot means a bag of sticks, I thought.
Or cigarette.
Cigarette.
Yeah. Great Britain could be long dart, coffin nail. Smoke.
Yeah, actually, I'm here just sitting here listening to you fellas, and I'm here smoking a fag myself.
Something.
Do you guys see that? You see the video clips going around of the teacher from Ireland who got arrested?
Who got arrested?
Did any of you guys see the videos going around of the teacher
Oh.
who was arrested in Ireland? They came to his family's farm first looking for him, and the dad gave him the riot act. But then finally, in the second follow-up video, they got a picture of him being arrested. His crime was that he refused to call a boy by a girl's name or embrace the whole transgender theology. And they literally arrested this dude. Took him. Yeah, it's getting ugly. So you got, you talk about no freedom of speech, but then on top of that, you got this thought police. So this guy's a school teacher, an otherwise blemish-free career. Young man, intelligent, educated, teaching young minds, refuses to participate in all this crazy shit about transgenderism, and they took him to jail. And that, my friends, is why we have the fucking Second Amendment in the United States.
It's getting to become a sore thumb around here, this Second Amendment. Because no one wants to use it, but we know that if they push too far, if they start doing stuff like that.
So, what comes first? The Constitution or the state law?
Bill of Rights.
Okay, so why are they arresting him? Based off
UK, that's Ireland.
This is in Ireland. This is in Ireland. They don't have the Second Amendment or the First Amendment.
I see that. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm just
an example. It's an example of what happens when you don't have a way to stand up against your government. English got a real fucking problem on their hands. The Irishmans have a real problem on their hands, and they better step up and start taking care of business, or it's gonna go over a tipping point. I'm not really sure if it's not already too late for them. But people need to pay real close fucking attention to what's going on. I was screaming it for over a year now. Pissed a lot of people off and lost a few friends along the way. I've been accused of just an old burnout military guy who harbors some sort of like inner hatred or deep hatred for the Muslims, and it's just not true.
No. There's a lot of people like you, Pirate.
I hate the radical Islam, and there's a difference, but most people don't even know the difference. But everybody's going to learn. Everybody's going to learn real soon. The school's going to be in here real soon, and you'll see everybody then. Everybody will be on board.
I hope not, but yet at the same time, I'm like, I guess there's a lot of people in England, Scotland, Ireland. They're all like you, Pirate. There are a lot of people who fought and went and did the deed to get things done, and they're there. And God forbid that they get woken up, just like the Japanese said. We awoke a sleeping giant, and I don't want that day to come. I don't want it to come, because I know what's going to happen. It's going to be horrible. And those men like you live in England, and they live in Scotland, and they live in Ireland, and they're getting fed up. They have all my support. I'll probably be extradited to England for saying that. Come get me.
No, and it says they jailed them for speaking up to try and save their country.
I typed out 2 or 3 long diatribes just going off about essentially this is how you make a terrorist. This is how you create I don't want to say a monster, but you're adding all the ingredients into a human being that's required for them to give up all their comforts, everything that they've worked for, all their dreams. Same thing with the January 6th people. Every person that they locked up for January 6th, that they denied due process And
Right.
they, all the things that they did, every one of those guys coming out of there is going to come out a radical. Now, whether or not he acts in a radical fashion or not is yet to be seen. But none of those people will ever view their government the same way again. That's the old thing of I love my country, but I hate my government. Those people are going to come out and they hate their government. And that's how you end up with the Timothy McVeighs of the world. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is how they're born. If you want to know how a guy can take a rental van from U-Haul and pull up next to the what was it, the not Edward R. Murrow, but whatever it was, federal building
in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, in Oklahoma City, and blow it fucking sky high. And they say, well, how could he do that? You're like, this is how you create that type of person. They see themselves as a victim of injustice, and many would argue that they are. And if their last resort is violence against what they view as a tyrannical government, then you're going to have more of that.
Yep.
You think that would work as a deterrent to keep some of these people from, I guess, poking the bear? But I just don't think they see it.
That day's gonna come, fool.
Target.
What was that? Yep.
That day's gonna come, man. It's like, you know.
Do not.
I have mixed feelings about McVeigh, and it's too far gone now for the truth to ever be revealed. But I guess most of the information about Clinton and Whitewater was stored in that building, is what I've heard.
I've read stuff like that. I don't know if any of that's true or if that's just more of those urban tales that are made up. I don't know. I really have no idea.
Do not come.
Yuka, have you seen the movie Red Dawn?
I'm going to come.
Who's going to jump?
Have you seen Red Dawn, Yuka?
No, what is that?
You need to be ready because the Chinese are coming in through California. You need to be our first line of defense.
The movie had come out in the 80s. No. Patrick Swayze, a bunch of high school buddies are graduating from high school.
Charlie Sheen.
The Chinese take over. They attack us from the west, the airdrop. And it shows how they become a group of partisans hiding out in the hills trying to fight the occupiers.
It's up to you, Yuka, to save us.
Wolverines, bro. You don't know Wolverines?
Wolverines. That's before Hugh Jackman even knew what Wolverine was.
He was just a glimmer in his father's eye at that point. Yucca, you can watch fucking Red Dawn?
One of the best movies of the 80s, man.
The girl from Dirty Dancing was in it. There's another girl.
And another guy and another guy.
Some other guys. Yeah, they were big time. They all went big time after that.
One of the Sheen brothers are in it, right?
Charlie Sheen, yeah. Charlie Sheen was in it.
No, it wasn't Charlie. It was the other guy, wasn't it?
No, it was Charlie Sheen. He was the brother of Patrick Swayze.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Shoot, that's not nice. It was not nice. It was a terrible time.
Wow. Okay.
Wolverines, come on, Yucca. What's up with you?
The kids had to see their school get shot up by the Chinese, and it was terrible.
Yucca, you'd like it because there's a Cuban general in there, and he speaks Spanish in the movie. And he speaks it extremely well. And I've gone back and I've watched those parts and I've listened to him, and he sounds Cuban, and he speaks extremely good Spanish.
And doesn't he come out in one scene just his suspenders, no shirt? Yucca would like that.
Well, there's that. I looked into that guy. He does not speak Spanish. He was doing it all based off of people telling him how to speak and stuff. It was amazing. And he sounds so Cuban, it'll blow your mind.
Well, that's because the Cubans speak Spanish. Cubans don't speak Cuban, they speak Spanish.
No, the actor doesn't speak Spanish at all, but
Oh,
he
the actor
starts.
did. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he starts speaking in Spanish, and he has this cadence and this way of speaking that is just completely Cuban. And it, like, if you speak Spanish, you're like, oh, that's Caribbean Spanish. That's very, very Cuban, very Puerto Rican type Spanish. And I researched it, and the guy doesn't speak Spanish
It's
at
like
all.
you find out Celine Dion didn't speak English when she sang some of her English songs at the beginning,
Yes.
but she sounded very English.
Right? It's just like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. You know, they sang in English, but they don't speak American English. I'm just kidding, but no, that's incredible. That guy does an incredible job as a Cuban. Incredible.
But Donkey Kong wants to know if we all remember Leif Garrett, the teen idol. I know.
Oh yeah, he
He
went bald.
he wasn't in Red Dawn though, right?
No, good lord, no.
Was he a singer? I know he's a teen idol for some reason.
He's probably dumber than Charlie Sheen. Come on. Didn't he just do like
He was a pop
covers?
singer. He was a pop singer.
Andrew Morgan
teeny bopper girls liked him.
Andrew didn't know Celine Dion was in Red Dawn. Now he knows.
Well, no, it was Jennifer Grey.
Yeah. Oh, but Donkey Kong says Leif Garrett was in Red Dawn.
Are you fucking kidding me? I swear, but Donkey Kong, if he isn't, I'll never listen to you again.
But Donkey Kong knows his trivia, so if he says he was in it, I wouldn't doubt
He's a fucking smart guy.
But it is Labor Day weekend, and he could be smoking a fatty, so he could be trolling you too.
American actor and singer.
Leif Garrett, yeah.
Leif Garrett. Hey, let's see. Let's go down to his.
Did he? Wait, no, he wasn't the Do Run Run guy. That was a Cassidy, right? But Donkey likes the Sean Cassidys of the world.
The Spirit.
He's gonna rip me a new one.
Long Shot, The Outsider, Shaker Run, Thunder Alley, Delta Fever, Cheerleader Camp, Party Line, The Banker, The Spirit of 76, and we're into the 90s. So, I may have to call a foul here. I don't see.
Yeah, I think you're wrong there, Donkey Kong. I don't think he was in Red Dawn.
Andrew Morgan says, but Donkey Kong for the win. It's true.
What year was Red Dawn?
I think 1985, 1984. The year I graduated high school. 1984. Came out in summer of 84.
He didn't have anything in 84 on his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
I think it was 86. I took.
Andrew Morgan says he just looked it up. In 1984 film, the movie, he played the character Robert Morris. Well, there it is. Right.
He GPT'd it. That's legit, right?
It must have been one of the characters got killed off early in the show or early in the movie. I don't remember.
All right, let me try this a different way. Trust but verify. I'm doing the old Ronald Reagan thing here, being that Reagan movie's out. Did anybody go see that? Casey gave that as a homework assignment.
Yeah.
You did?
I like Ronald Reagan, but he fucked us all with his you can't have automatic weapons. So kind of not a fan anymore.
All right, Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, Charlie Sheen, yep. Darren Dalton, Jennifer Grey, Brad Savage, Doug Toby, Ben Johnson, Harry Dean Stanton. I still haven't seen.
He might have been just like the dude that got shot.
Yeah, yeah. If maybe he had a bit part and it wasn't even worthy of. Yeah. It's like I said, if he did play a part in it, it wasn't a real big speaking role.
He was in the crew. He got water for everybody.
He was the water boy.
Right, there's 50 in the cast, so I'm going to go down that one where it shows all of them. Ben Johnson, Harry, Ron O'Neill, William Smith, Vladex something, Powers Booth, Frank McRae.
Powers Booth played the helicopter pilot. That movie doesn't really stand up too good over time. Look at it now; it's a little little cheesy on some of its
Come
shit. But
on now.
Pepe
Pat.
Serna, Lane Smith, Judd Omen, Michael D'Agasta, Jolene Carlton, George something, Waldemir Kalinowski, Sam Slavic, Perez,
Anna says Google Hub didn't know, so that's the end, right?
Bill Mead, Sam Dodge, Ben Zeller, Densar,
Hi,
Jensar,
Nana.
Fisher, Kesher, Bishop, Rubo, Lane, Meyer, Dale, Ireland, Moore, Norwood, Phillips.
Goldberg,
All right.
Steinberg.
On
No,
the
I'm
list
just
of
kidding.
50 people, he didn't make the top 50. So is this, if we were doing Mythbusters, would we say myth busted?
yeah, I'm gonna say Donkey Kong. Your I swear isn't good enough. You're coming up
Don?
dangerously close to it. Believe me, bro. Trust me, bro. You're gonna have to cough up a source or something because
We can never take you seriously again. Yeah, I love you
the
too.
Great Leaf Garrett conspiracy.
I mean, I don't know if I take away the wrench at this point, but this is
No. Give him extra wrench and have him figure out what the hell was it his Leaf Garrett. Was that his real name? Maybe it was a stage name and he was there as someone else like Carl Steinberg or
I wonder if he's thinking there was a remake of it. Maybe he was like in the remake.
I used to chew a tobacco called Levi Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh,
I told Levi Garrett when I worked at a gas station.
that stuff will make you spit until you can't pee.
I chewed
Twisty Swifties joined the chat.
Red Fox
I just
most
saw
of the
that.
time.
Hey, Twisty, what's up?
Red Fox. I chewed a little bit of.
What was the big
Levi
one?
Garrett.
Levi, no, Levi
Railroad
Garrett
Twist. I chewed some Railroad Twist, which was essentially just raw fucking tobacco that's twisted into a knot like a pretzel. You had to be hard. You had to be hard fucking core to chew Railroad Twist. Railroad Twist made me sick.
Was the number one thing I think I sold when I worked at a gas station in high school.
Yeah, that's a dip. That's not chewing tobacco. That's a dip.
Okay.
Oh, Nana wants to know why Twisty Swifty doesn't have a blue wrench.
Red Man. Andrew knows. Red Man. Yep. I've chewed a package or two of Red Man.
Red Man.
Had a picture of the Indian on a white package. Yeah.
Yeah, I sold that one.
That was strictly outdoors type stuff. Red Man, or even Levi Garrett, yeah, you had to be outdoors, that kind of stuff, and drink a lot of water.
Fuck, man. I can remember being 9 years old, riding around on a bicycle chewing tobacco. Chew that shit, get high as fuck off of it, spit that juice.
Oh,
yeah. There were guys that, a lot of them played ball, so they looked up to the baseball players, and that had something to do with it. But no,
I never.
They'd sell you chewing tobacco. They didn't ask for ID.
Yeah. I never smoked, but like I said, I worked at a gas station, sold the cigarettes and the chewing tobacco. But the guys that would come in and order the Marlboro in the box or whatever instead of the
soft pack.
Yep. And this one guy would beat it on the counter like he was beating it to death. It's like finally I had to ask, what the heck are you doing? So we got to pack the tobacco down
on Figueroa Street.
They got to pack the tobacco so it won't, I guess, burn as fast or something. But man, he would about break my counter.
If they pack it real tight, it doesn't have a lot of oxygen in it. So when they're not drawing on the cigarette, it doesn't burn. It'll only burn until they're dragging on it. Otherwise, if they're just holding that cigarette, it'll burn down faster. So they want that thing to burn as slowly as possible until they want to take a drag off of it.
He would get those Marlboros in the box, had to have it in the box, and then he'd sit there and pound it on my counter. And like, what the heck?
Twisty says he's not going to be here for too long, but yeah, I'm glad you.
Ones I couldn't wrap my head around. I never knew anybody who did it with snuff. They'd open up a little tin and they'd pinch it. It looked like like finely ground powder, almost as fine as the consistency of baking flour or cinnamon. Yeah, and they'd snort that shit up into their knot. I couldn't get the concept around that. I never tried it, and I was like, I think one time I might have tried it, and it all went up into my sinuses and was fucking burning. I was like,
I tried it. I cried and then never did it again. Nana Ape says she won last week. How the hell? Nana's like really smart, guys. I think we're gotta take a little step back Because Nana's starting to figure shit out. All right, so no Leif Garrett in
He
1984 Red Dawn.
but Donkey Kong posted in my general a screenshot that shows him listed. It says that Leif Garrett was Matt Eckert in the movie. So I Googled Leif Garrett Matt Eckert, and it came up blank on that. So
Andrew Morgan said it was Robert Morris was the character he played. So there's an inconsistency there.
I think he was Yucca Frida. Nana, you got your shit together. I've been watching you, and I've been seeing that you know what you're doing. So,
thanks for stopping in, Twisty. Yeah, I think Nana's a sleeper here. She's
Nana's got her shit together. I've been watching her over the last couple of months, ever since she started getting into the whatever Casey does on the guess the shit of the day, and she's been doing pretty good. She got a lot of good info. Smart lady. I'm impressed. You never know where things will go. World, I'm telling you.
Okay, I need to call Panera because my 4-year-old apparently made a $50 order to Panera for pickup.
Nice. Atta girl. Oh, was
So
it
I need
not
to go
sanctioned?
take care of this.
So you're heading out, Rugged? I just got my head to step out for a sec.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to call them up and be like, sorry. So yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, later, bro.
Hey, Donna.
Yeah, not bad at all, man. Hi, Donna. How you
Welcome
doing?
to the holiday edition, Donna. Happy Labor Day.
Pew, pew, pew.
And Andrew, welcome.
Netanyahu just made a statement. We're going to exact a heavy price from Hamas. I'm not going to tell you what the price is going to be and what we're going to do. There's going to be an element of surprise here. Israel is not going to ignore the massacre. Hamas will pay a heavy price for this, a very heavy price. So there's his statement about the killing of the hostages. Yep, there you have it.
Yeah, I read that he said earlier, basically the same thing, that he says that they're going to respond in a way that's never happened before. Left it pretty vague.
Well, that's...
I know if it was me, I'd drop a big hammer on them. I'd give them 48 hours to evacuate Gaza, and I'd level the fucking place. When I got done with it, it looked like a gravel pit. You'd be able to shoot marbles on that motherfucker. When I got done, it'd be so flat.
Right in the middle of a U.S. election. So
you got the Chinese are they're ramming into the Filipino Coast Guard ships, and what's generally accepted by the global community as Filipino international trade waters, meaning it falls close enough to the Filipino coastline that it's considered their waters. So,
that's
yep. Everything I've said.
They've been down along the coast of West South America, fishing the fuck out of that area. They're getting sick of it too. Chile, Ecuador. What are some of those other ones? They're all getting pissed off because then I think Ecuador owns the Galapagos, and they're like, "Why are you fishing out here?" And they're like, "You fuck off. We have your food in 10 minutes." I'm like, "No, you get your fucking ships out of this protected area." No, they don't go.
Nana wants to know about what's going on in Colorado. Colorado is an interesting one, Nana. It's if you listen to their public relations personnel, the little bureaucratic spokesperson up there, their city mayor and all them, they'll tell you that everything's fine in that
Nothing's
particular
even
town.
happening.
But if you go interview the people, you'll get a completely different story. And then you see on the YouTube, the channels of the guys kicking in doors with
AR-15s.
heavy arms and shit. So yeah. Or not heavy, light arms. My point is, yeah, there's some ugly shit going on there. It's only it'll grow, it'll get bigger.
Are we talking about the apartment building that the gang guys with the guns, or is that something else?
Yeah, that's Venezuelan gang.
Yeah, we have videos of it, but the law enforcement presence is like, well, we don't even know we've never heard of anything about this.
The local law officials, I haven't heard from them, but I heard from like their mayor and some other people saying that Colorado's fine and it's a misrepresentation. But then you go watch them interview the people that say they can't go to the local parks. They're afraid to take their kids to school. And specifically the people that live in those buildings, they have even more to say about it.
Yeah, the lady whose doorbell camera that the footage is from was on Fox News, and she said, I called the police, and they said, we ain't doing nothing. And she said, they told her, you're on your own. Said, unless something happens, we're not doing anything. And she's like, there's men roaming the hallways with what are they call assault rifles, and they said, sorry,
rifles,
you're on your own. And then some politician actually did finally reach out to her and helped her physically move to get out of that situation. But said the local law enforcement told her, you're on your own.
Yeah, I mean, we call them assault weapons, but if someone walks around my neighborhood with a Ruger 1022, the most popular 22 rifle of all time, I'm going to get a little bit nervous, like, hey, what are you doing? Because that thing can assault me just as much as a deer rifle can assault me. So I'm not going to, I don't know if I would call the cops, because calling the cops seems to just make things worse. Maybe he's just walking around with a 1022. I don't know. Kind of weird that we've got to this point. I remember going to school with a rack of firearms in the back of my pickup.
Yeah, that was commonplace in my high school days. People with the shotguns in their, they'd go deer hunting after school and
shotguns, deer rifles. Nobody ever said a word. I'd go in, get good grades, go to college, get good grades. Nothing fucking ever happened to me. Them guns, though. Them goddamn guns. No. It's the person. Never the gun. It's always the person. How could they look at me? And I wasn't wild, but I was kind of like against authority. Like, fuck off, I'm not doing anything wrong. How could they not look at me as someone that was detrimental to society? But they can look at these guys and say, yeah, no, we don't think anything's going wrong here. We're kicking in, we're knocking on your door, open the fucking door. We got pistols, we got an AR-15, we're taking your shit. You're gonna pay us extra above your rent to protect you. Protect me from what? Well, you're gonna protect me from us. You're gonna protect you from me. How's that sound? Okay, that sounds great. Because why I live in Denver and we have an assault weapons ban or something? Probably.
I have a daughter and family that lives in Colorado Springs, and there's a lot of nutcakes in that town. Always weird things are always happening in that town. I chalk it up to since they legalized weed, they get all that craziness, but I'm sure that's not the
I think
main
that's it.
driver.
It was starting to get that way before they legalized weed. It was. I think it turned blue after Reagan. and I'm not sure why.
Oh, now you've done it. You've made Nana mad. She's here now.
Oh, Nana's here. Nana, what's up?
I'm trying. I forgot to mute my TV. I'm turning it down. It's just like when I grew up, like this shit did not happen. This shit would not have happened. It when I was in school when they killed Martin Luther King, and they called martial law, and all around where I lived, they had helicopters, military, and if you were out, they stopped you, and if you would start these fucking riots, oops, I think I'm gonna get that banner. If you were out, and you weren't supposed to be, they shot to kill. Like all this stuff where they just, I got it. There, when you start breaking into buildings and stealing shit, man, they got you. They would just shoot. Like, what is going on? Why do we let people start taking over our country? You know, all this stuff would have never happened. And I'm old enough to remember.
Bouquet of
This is
a little bouquet of history right there. Yeah.
It's just infuriating me that they let these open borders come in and they let these people rape children and they let them back out on the street. Yeah, well, this stuff just infuriates me.
It's incredible.
The good news is if we get a HEMP, all our electronics will be down. We won't know about what's going on. We'll all starve to death, and it'll be the end of the story. So,
yeah, they're buying up land and they're producing meat that's no good for you. It's going to kill you. And they're trying to kill us off. They're trying to kill us off. Oh, so only the elite will run the country. I mean, I've gone down this rabbit hole years ago before I even got into stock. 5 years ago, so I went down. I went and I researched like Pizzagate and the Epstein Island and all this stuff and what they're doing with children that are just missing. And you can even watch it on in the Senate hearings, you know, where they're questioning people. So there's 85,000 people, children, that you don't know where they are. You don't know where they were placed.
Yeah, it's 300,000 they announced.
385,000.
Well,
I have a question. I have a question for y'all about the missing kids things. I just asked Mrs. Pirate half an hour ago, and she can't help me with it much. But if there's 50,000 kids disappeared, how is it that 50,000 mothers let that happen? I'm missing something here, because I know messing with my wife when the big kids were little was like messing with a fucking tiger. There was no easier way for me to get my head ripped off. You just don't mess with a woman and her kids. So there's something about this whole thing that I'm missing. How do these 50,000 kids just vaporize? And she said, Mrs. Pirate says, well, it's because of the trafficking coming across. They're sending their children across for a better life. So they're sending them across with these coyotes or whatever, and then they turn up missing or whatever. Hear me out. Let me finish. So I get that that's her theory, but here's my question. If some woman in Juarez sends her 5-year-old kid across with a coyote and he never makes it to his family, don't you think the word would get back to mom in Mexico? It's not like they're not going to hear that the kid turned out missing. So my question too is, I could see why the first 100 or 200 kids come up missing, but don't you think at some point, if enough people called back home and said our kids aren't making it here, that the mothers would quit sending them forward? I just find it incredulous that there's this group of women out there like, here, take my babies, and you'll never see them again. It doesn't add up mathematically.
Would you ever give your child to somebody that you don't know to bring across the border? Would you ever?
So I asked. So yes, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Supposedly, Some of them are saying, I'd rather my kid have a chance in the paradise of America than die in Guatemala or Venezuela. So I can
Yeah.
see where a woman would say, yeah, take my kid across and I'll come later. Or I don't, listen, this is a stretch. I mean, even saying that they're doing that is crazy. Now I understand that they say, well, they can use these kids to come across because it's a get out of jail free card. If you got a kid, they let you in. If you don't have a kid, they send you back. But my argument is this: at some point in time, this little kid's got a mama, and if that kid doesn't make it to Auntie Yolinda's in fucking Houston, Texas, she's going to call back to Mexico and say, little Jose never made it. So they wouldn't keep sending kids if they're disappearing. So I don't understand it. There's something I'm missing
Like
here.
Byron,
I can see if a couple.
I can't
Yeah,
speak
go
to
ahead.
all
Go
of
ahead.
them. I can't speak to all of them, obviously, but like The Sound of Freedom, for instance, was based on a true story of two kids. And what went down there is a father actually brought his daughter was in a mall, and it was actually a former like Miss Mexico contestant was the groomer or whatever. That's not the right word, but she was the lead in this
Bait.
particular
The
thing.
bait. Okay.
She saw this young girl, went to the father and said she was singing or something. They were in some public setting and she heard her sing and said she could have a career. So she approached the dad saying she has, this huge career in singing. I can make her a star. So he goes to a certain location, a hotel on a certain date. And there literally is this outfit set up in this hotel where all these parents are bringing their kids who they think, they're going to have a chance at stardom. And they say, come back in 2 hours. They'll be done with their audition. He comes back. The place is cleaned out. There's nobody there. And all those kids that this lady had gone around, telling all these different ones that your kid could be a star, all of them got trafficked. And then the movie goes
So
on.
again, but okay, so I could see that happening to 2 or 10 or 20 or 200 kids, but at some point, doesn't common sense say that? I mean, you don't have to be you don't have to be a college graduate type educated person. All you need is the basic understanding of how a family runs. That at some point the word would spread throughout all of Mexico, the South American country, all that do not let your kids go to any of these casting calls, these modeling shows, any of that stuff. Don't you think the word would have spread like wildfire? And it would just stop? I mean, I don't.
In poor countries that there's this hope and this dream that my kid can get out of this, or in that case it wasn't even like they were in a dire situation. I think this was this father was not destitute, but he was just on the hopes that, hey, I don't want to deprive my daughter of something if she has this talent. And
they don't.
Isn't it? I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes here because I don't know much about this subject, but isn't it generally the idea that these kids are all being used and killed for the adrenochrome and all this kind of stuff? And if so, wouldn't somewhere along the line some bodies have turned up? I mean, the Green River Killer, any other murderer in this country has left bodies behind, whether it was Charles Manson or the Green River Killer or John Wayne Gacy, any of those fuckers. Where are the bodies? How come nobody's tripped up and somebody hasn't found like 200 kids' bodies somewhere? It seems to be this appalling lack of evidence.
The sex trafficking.
That's where you got to go dig into Epstein Island, and you got to dig into Pizzagate a little bit. And they're saying Pizzagate ain't real, but it was real. Look at that restaurant. Look at the pictures. And I've seen pictures of them with the blood and drinking the kids' blood. I've seen the pictures. And I used to be on a different platform, and I couldn't take it anymore. I had to stop watching it because I was obsessed, and it really just upset me. And then I just got into stocks. So this is like over 5 years ago. I dug down that rabbit hole. Telegram was it?
So somebody else tell me. So all these kids that are disappearing, are they all only ending up in the United States, all over the world? Are we the only ones that has the child eaters?
I
They're
don't
going
know
all
about.
over the
I know about
world.
the sex trafficking side of things from based on the movies and the things I've read, and they're saying, a drug dealer, you sell your drug, you sell it once and you're done. If you can sell a human, the Johns get to sell them every night, multiple times, and it's like way more profitable than the drug trafficking. So there's a huge money component to the sex trafficking of kids. That
But I'm asking you where. I'm not asking you what. Is
the
this going on all
United
around the
States is
globe, or is it just in Kentucky? I
The
mean,
United
where is
States is
this?
one of the largest consumers of the trafficked children. Not the only, but one of the largest consumers
So
of it.
so I would argue that you got a much bigger problem than somebody selling their kids. You got a problem who's buying the fucking kids.
Yeah.
It's bad enough if somebody's willing to sell their fucking kids, but if you're telling me that our country has an appetite to eat up and use up 50,000 little kids, I don't know what's that. Is it supposed to be a year? That's 50,000 number. Is this the
800,000
Where
every
was
year.
it where Hillary Clinton went in to save the kids? Was it Haiti?
Haiti,
Or
and
and
they made
where'd
billions
all
off
the
of
kids go?
Haiti.
Where'd all those kids go?
Yeah, and Pirate, are you asking for grave sites and stuff? Come on.
No, I'm just
No.
asking for some clarity because I hear people talk about this subject all the time, and they throw around a lot of the same statements that are vague. And I just have a few, specific questions like, does this trade go on all around the world? Are they
Yes.
buying them in
It
Germany,
probably
Italy?
does.
So the entire
Yes.
world has an appetite for children then. So
Yes. Yes.
so what's
But
how much are the kitty eaters versus how much are the kitty savers? Is 50%?
There's
There's
more
good guys and
people.
bad guys in this. So how
Yeah.
much of the general world population are the kid eaters?
There are more bad people, and a lot of them are politicians. A lot of them, if
allegedly,
Epstein Island wasn't just like 21-year-olds; they were little kids, and there's famous
allegedly, yeah.
people, famous
See, that's the
people.
thing. I saw a lot of photographs because the internet loves pictures. I saw a lot of photographs of girls at Epstein Islands. I've never seen a single picture yet of little bitty kids.
Well, you weren't
So
on Telegram. You weren't on Telegram.
There are things, Pirate. Yeah, there
I've
are
seen
things.
it. I've
then
seen it on
why has it not
Telegram.
been put out there for
Ask yourself, how did they
Because the
win the 2020
politicians hide
elections?
it. Why isn't Epstein Island? Why isn't it?
Well, I've said many times they arrested him, they arrested the pimp, they arrested the madam Giselle, but they never arrested a John. These kids were supposedly the victims. These girls come forward and said they were the ones who were raped or forced into this sex slave stuff. I'm like, okay, we got all the components except for whoever was doing the fucking. Who was doing the fucking? Who was
Right?
paying for the pussy?
You're right.
Where you can't have this crime without
You
that
Why didn't
guy.
they
And
arrest the prince? Why didn't they arrest Prince Andrew? Why? Didn't they arrest him?
It was on. You could buy a kid over what's the name of it? Mayfair, and I looked it up. I looked it up on Mayfair, and you could buy.
Isn't it Wayfair? Not Mayfair.
Wayfair.
I mean, I guess you could see a world. I guess you could see a world where they could sell kids. I mean, if you're going to murder babies in the womb, I mean, that's what an abortion is. If they say you can have a baby grow, and from an egg it turns into a tiny little baby that's 8 months old, and they can stick a fucking tulip in there and blend that baby up,
And
vacuum it out.
Healthcare.
But my point is, what makes people think that they can't sell them for sex toys? I mean, I guess evil's evil,
Tony Robbins, like I was saying, Pirate, he's saying his organizations over the last 8 years, they've rescued 50,000 kids. So the scale is incredible.
That's why they don't want Trump to win. He's fighting. He knows what's going on. There's so many actors that are involved in it that I can't stand to watch their movies because I know they're fucking pedophiles. Tom Hanks is one of them.
Number one, yeah.
Hey, my
Yeah,
brother's
there,
here.
there's
I got to step away from the. I'm going to leave this stream going and all, but I'm going to be gone for a bit. So, FYI.
All right, I'll be back in a little bit.
I'm
See your mom,
sorry.
she'll pay.
I just got a little heated because I
See,
used to dig
I have
into.
trouble. I have trouble because I'd like to think I'm a decent person. I don't like to jump to judgment for anybody. So when I hear shit like Tom Hanks is a pedophile, I kind of grit my teeth a little bit because I say, you know, if he is, then obviously I hold him in the same disgust that I would any other pedophile. The fact that he's an actor doesn't change anything. The problem I have with it is I haven't seen any proof. Just showing a picture of Tom Hanks doesn't mean he was engaged in a sexual act. So I'm like, I wouldn't want anybody slandering my character. I mean, somebody took out Tomorrow and started taking out ads saying Pirate's a fucking pedo. I couldn't stop them. They just put my picture out there, and if they say it enough, so I mean, if again, I'm like, I need to see some proof before I can condemn these people. And it's like my wife and I talked about, if every single person went to that island, um, of all the people that went there, I find it hard to believe that every last person was a sex criminal there. I mean, there were teenage. I mean, it was a giant party island. There was all kinds of people that came outside of the Lolita Express. Now, if you're talking about just that plane and those particular men in that time, then I get it. But I just want to be real careful. I don't want to live in a country where you can just accuse somebody of something and they're automatically guilty without any fucking proof whatsoever. I just don't want to live in that world.
Obama, the Clintons. I mean, they're all involved in it. What's his name? Anderson, Cooper Anderson. He's in it. That woman that held up Trump's head. She's in on it. I don't remember all their names, but I had to walk away because it just sickened me so much. I couldn't take it, and I tried to warn my kids and my grandchildren. And
Well, I know a lot of people feed on drama. I know a lot of people feed on drama like adrenaline. They eat it up like a romance novel. They eat it up like a good scary movie. So a lot of people love this shit. They like to run around and talk about how horrible it is because it feeds their little drama, their little drama Jones. Are addicted to drama. And again, I just don't want to participate in anything that attacks a person just because I heard it on the internet or I've read it somewhere. I need more than that for me to condemn somebody of arguably one of the worst crimes known to man. I just can't. I just think it's a system of fairness. We have to live in a city, a country, a world. I'd like to see a world where you're innocent until proven guilty. And they say proven guilty, not hinted at or not because somebody said they was. It has to be proven guilty. And that means somebody needs to be charged with a crime. They need to do an investigation and then show the proof. But otherwise, it's just innuendo. I can get on the internet today and start saying anything I want about Foo Dog, but that doesn't make it true.
Pirate, why do you think they don't want Trump elected? Because he was trying to get to the bottom of it, and he was trying to help these children.
Well, when you say they, I'm assuming you mean the Democrats. I think the Democrats. I don't think the Democrats want Trump in power because they want to keep power. They don't. It's not about keeping. It's not about not letting Trump be in office. You could switch Trump out for anybody. Pick any random truck driver from coast to coast. The Democrats would hate them as well. It's not about not. It's about them staying in power. You know. So.
Okay, this is just a topic that gets me hot and heavy because
it does everyone. There's not a person that walks this earth that wants kids to get hurt. I don't think anybody's out there that raises their hand and says, "Not me. Fuck kids. I want them all to fucking live hurt." I think the normal human condition is to want kids to be safe, and I think that's what it's just. I think it's a hot button thing.
I don't care what color they are. I don't care what race they are. I don't want them hurt. Kids are kids. They shouldn't be trafficked, and they are. And I went onto Wayfair and I looked up this stuff that they would sell, like a dresser, and you would have to pay like $5,000 for it. I went on to that website and I was like, so why would a dresser cost $5,000? Yeah, it was on there. I researched it.
Well, it's not. This isn't anything new. Cultures have been selling young women into an open market like any other personal belonging for as long as mankind's been around. Still goes on today. You go to some of these poor countries like the Philippines, Thailand, all those places, you find some of those communities that are out in the rural areas, they have a bunch of daughters. You can buy one just like you can buy a goat or a horse. They're eager to see a young girl go to, hit the big times. You get to be part of a big rich, wealthy family in the big cities. And it goes on all the time. It's more of a nature of like an arranged marriage. They're not selling their daughters to be, fucked once and then their head cut off and thrown in a ditch. But the whole aspect of daughters being sold into arranged marriages is certainly nothing new.
No.
But I don't think that's
No. Look at P. Diddy. Look at P. Diddy. What's going on there?
It's just strange to me in a world where we have TV, nudity, they don't care. They'll show frontal nudity, everything full Monty front and back, sex acts, everything. There's really nothing holds barred anymore. And I just can't help believe if there wasn't video evidence out there of a lot of this shit that more of it would be coming out. Even, it just, everything goes around, gets viral so fast these days, and clicks make money because it draws in, eyeballs for advertisers. I just don't know why there isn't more evidence of it.
There is evidence of it, but they won't do anything about it because these people have too much power. They have too much money.
Well, that's too bad.
I know.
So you think that's just the way it's going to stay, huh?
No, I think we need new politicians.
What will they do? What will the new politicians do? What do you mean crack down? What does crack down mean?
Trump was trying to help these children. And that's why they hate him so bad. Because they don't want shit coming out.
Papa Mike said the grandkids are there, so he's turning off his stream. There you go.
Okay. Have a great day, Papa Mac. Thank you.
Yeah, I just showed up to support him. I was reading stuff on Twitter and I got the little notification. And I didn't want him to stream without anybody showing a little bit of love. So.
Yeah, I just was surprised that he was streaming. I was just like, oh my God, Papa Mac streaming? I haven't watched any I haven't been on Twitter or anything. This weekend I didn't feel good.